And we're live. 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 Let me know. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Yeah, come on into the room. We are talking about 3 ways that you can live a fuller, richer, more amazing life, especially as it relates to your personal finances. So come into the room. Let's talk about it. Let's chat about it. If you haven't already, tell your friends and them they need to just come on into this room. Um, 3 critical steps. See, for those who don't know, I'm like semi-retired these days, meaning like I don't even work one fourth of what I used to work before. I just refuse. And I'm able to do so because of these 3 critical things that actually might surprise you what they are, but they've made all the difference. So no matter where you're watching this, whether you're watching the replay, whether you're watching it live, let me give you some instructions. I want you to tell, tag, and share this video. Okay. Give me a thumbs up so I can hear you. I can read your comments. Even if you're watching the replay, believe me, those comments, we get to see them afterwards. We go through and we read them. Okay. All right. So if you're watching live, just say live. And if you're watching the replay, right? Replay. All right. So there are 3 critical things that have helped me go from um, like this preschool teacher that was struggling with her personal finances to someone now that doesn't have to work as hard as she used to work. And if you don't have a pen, I'm a notebook girl. Okay. You already know. First of all, I always have notes. So if you don't have a pen, you don't have a pad, you don't have a notebook out, what are you even doing? Um, and so like get your pen and paper ready. And these are the 3 core things, and I want to share them with you. And I want you to figure out how you can integrate them into your life. But I'm also going to give you a tool to help you do so because I didn't have, the tools. I had to kind of cobble them together. But I don't really believe that you should struggle to do that. Okay. All right. All right. So thing number one, when it comes to like what tools do you need in order to live a richer life? Now, a richer life is not just about more money, but it's about time, it's about connectedness, it's about feeling a sense of security and safety and peace. Thing number one is knowledge. I know you thought I was going to be like money, because here's the thing about money. Money can come and go. Who has lost money? If you've lost money in the last year, maybe you've overspent, maybe it's credit card debt, maybe it's taxes, maybe it's the kids, who feels like they have less money than they did before? Put a 1, whether you're watching live or the replay, put a 1 in the comments. If you feel like you have less money than before, put a 1 in the comments, you know? So the thing about money is that you're going to see how many ones pop up, like you're going to see, right? The thing about money is that literally it can come and go, but guess what? Knowledge is something that can't come and go. Every time one of my sisters and I graduated from whether it's college, high school, or master's, whatever, my like preschool, my dad would say the same thing every single time during graduation. He would say, "You have now elevated to the next level of knowledge." And knowledge, once given, can never be rescinded. Once knowledge is given to you, it can't be taken back. I don't care who you are. And so knowledge is a critical component of mastering your money in such a way that you can literally live a richer life. Does that make sense? So what does that mean? Like knowledge, meaning, do you know how to budget? Do you know how to save? So look, but let me take my girl out. This is my girl, my best-selling New York Times best-selling book, Get Good with Money, honey. Right? So there are 10 components to what I call financial wholeness. Financial wholeness is when these 10 components are active in your life and you have mastered them in such a way that you don't have to worry. It doesn't mean financial wholeness is not about having a ton of money. It's not about being perfect, but it's about mastering these 10 components so you don't have to worry about your financial life, right? And so those 10 components are these, because this is the knowledge base, right? This is the knowledge. So those 10 components are these. 1, budgeting. Do you know how to budget? For real, not just like in your head, but do you have like a spreadsheet or a system in place, especially if it's automated or at least semi-automated? So many people you say you're budgeting, but you really don't know how to budget effectively, meaning you don't know how to live under your means and manage the money that you have, right? So that's key. That's 1. 2, save. Do you know how to save effectively, or are you just delayed spending? I'm about to read you for filth. Just come into the room. It's okay because that used to be me too. Delayed spending versus saving. Some people used to do this. I saved 100, saved 200, saved 300, bought a coat, bought some shoes. And it's like I'm saving, but then I spend it later. That's not saving. That's just delayed spending. Who are you, a delayed spender? Put a 2 in the comments. I see you. I know you're a delayed spender. It's okay. Right? But do you actually know how to save? That's one of the components of financial wholeness, is knowing how to set aside to not spend, because you will not be able to grow that money if you're not saving. Does that make sense? If you have not shared this video, if you have not tagged your financial bestie, if you have not told someone, come into the room, because Tiffany's giving you 3 core things to help you live a richer life, one filled with financial wholeness. Knowledge, that's what we're talking about now. Knowledge, do you know how to budget? Knowledge, do you know how to save? Knowledge, do you know how to dig your way out of debt? I had to learn this the hard way. At one point, I was about $300,000 in debt. I owed my mortgage on my condo. I bought a condo when I was in my 20s for like 220. I had student loan debt for my master's in education. That was about 50,000, 52,000, give or take. And I had credit card debt because of a credit card scam. That was about $35,000. So your girl was struggling, right? And I could have still been there to this day if I did not acquire the knowledge to slowly and surely dig my way out of debt. That's critical. Do you know, step by step, because it's a system of how to dig your way out of debt? Not just dig your way out, stay your way out. Now your girl, although this is not for everyone, I am completely debt free. I'm debt free like a 3-year-old. The house that I'm living in right now, 5 bedrooms, 3.5 bath in Newark, New Jersey, ain't no mortgage, right? I'm debt free. I'm, like I said, I'm not saying you should aspire to be completely debt free like me. There's nothing wrong with a mortgage, but I don't have a mortgage. I just bought a condo down the street from here. This beautiful historic condo built in the 1920s. Beautiful. It's 4 bedroom, really 5 bedrooms, 3.5 bath, 2,800 square feet. I just bought it. There's no mortgage on that condo, because I learned when I was struggling how to not only get debt free, but stay debt free. Knowledge. Do you see how I'm living a richer life now? I'm not just talking about money. For me, I didn't want to carry around debt anymore. And so I put my mind to figuring out, how do I live debt free? How do I get debt free? How do I stay debt free? Okay. Right. Another thing for knowledge. Do you know how to manage your credit wisely? I didn't know at first. I remember when I first went to get my condo when I was in my 20s, I literally, because my dad was a CFO before he retired, and an accountant. So he used to teach my sisters and I about money a lot, my mom too. And I used to just do what he told me to do. So when I went to go to the mortgage company to try to get a mortgage for my condo at 25, my credit score was like at 802, but I didn't know why, right? Because I didn't have the knowledge of how I got there. But I was like, okay. And so because I didn't have the knowledge, as soon as I stopped listening to my dad, as 20 somethings do, because I thought I was grown, smelling myself, my credit score fell to a 575. Because I thought I was grown, because I didn't have the knowledge of how is my credit like this? I just did what daddy said. And then I had to acquire the knowledge of oh, this is the components. There are 5 components to your credit score. Here are the 2 that mean the most. Here's how I can automate my expenses in such a way to not only maintain, raise my credit score, but to maintain my credit score. You know what I mean? And so so I just had to learn that, so now my credit score is in the 800s again. Although for me, I don't really need credit right now because I'm not buying anything that requires credit, but credit is more, this is what credit say. Credit says, I want you to know me before you need me. Okay. And so do you understand how to manage your credit? That's a huge component of your financial knowledge base. Also, learning to earn. We're talking about financial wholeness. We're talking about the 3 components of how do you live a richer life. Component number 1 is knowledge. So knowledge of, do you know how to earn? You know what? Do you know how to earn? Meaning because here's the thing. Many of you are frugal. If you're frugal, just write frugal in the comments. If you're frugal, I am naturally frugal. And I thought maybe I could frugal my way down to wealth. You can't. You're not going to frugal your way or save your way to wealth. I had to learn to earn. So even when I was teaching preschool, I started off at $35,000 a year when I was like in my early 20s. And then by the time my school closed due to the recession at the time in 2009, I think I was at like 50 or 60,000. But I also used to tutor on the side and I used to babysit on the side because I realized that for the goals that I wanted, what I was getting paid as a preschool teacher was not enough. I had to learn to earn. And then even after my school closed down and I started my business, I had to learn to earn. The first 4, almost 5 years in business, the budget needs to pay me nada, zip, zero, stingy with De Niro. Name that song. Name that rapper. And so because I didn't know how to earn, I was just like, I'll just be frugal. I'll just be frugal, 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 and frugal, frugal, frugal. I was so frugal that my mother, who is even more frugal than me, said, "You look crazy. Your hair's not done. Your clothes look crazy. Here's some money to go buy yourself something." She didn't know I had like $5,000 saved or something at the time because I was so frugal that I wasn't taking care of myself. And I realized frugal is not the only way. I had to learn to earn. We're talking about acquiring knowledge. We're talking about acquiring knowledge. That part is so critical. Do you know how to ask for a raise? Do you know how to negotiate more for your salary? If you do want a side hustle, do you know what that should look like? Okay, we're talking about acquiring knowledge. Let me see, what am I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The sixth one is investing. Ooh, now this is the one. This be the one, especially for my ladies. So many of us are scared to invest. I know I am. The first time I invested, I lost $35,000 in credit card debt due to a scam because somebody who I thought was my friend scammed me. And so it left me with all of this debt. And so I was so scared to invest after that. So I didn't know how to invest. But here's the thing. If you want to grow wealth, now we're talking about financial wealth. If you want to grow wealth, you have to invest. Investing merely means growing your money. Do you know how to take this seed and turn it to an oak tree that yields more oak seeds, like seeds, acorns, right? Is that oak tree acorns? Girl, we just gonna say, yes, that's what it is. Does that make sense? Like that's what investing is. It's like I have this seed, which is the money from my paycheck left over after I pay my bills. Do I know how to plant it in the right soil, pick the right investment? Do I know how to water it, look after it? Do I know how to make sure it gets sunlight so it can grow into an oak tree and an oak tree can yield more acorns? So the acorns, I don't got to work no more for acorns because my tree grows me acorns. Investing is something that you absolutely can learn how to do. Do you know that studies show that women are better long-term investors than typically men? That our temperament yields us to be better investors, that we get better returns. That's what studies show. So if you think to yourself, I can't do it, you absolutely can invest. It's just that you have a lack of knowledge. So that's why I said these are the components. I hope you're writing them down: budgeting, savings, digging out of debt, credit, learning to earn, investing. Not just investing for wealth, but also are you investing for retirement? Do you understand, like, well, what's a Roth IRA? What's an IRA? What's a 401k? All this was foreign to me when I first started, and slowly but surely, I committed myself to acquiring this knowledge. Okay? And you'll be able to ask questions at the end. Okay? So don't even worry about it. All right? Number 7 is insurance. Now, I didn't really understand the value of insurance until I finally got my personal financial advisor because I was making good money as a budgetista. Finally, after 5 years of toiling away, and my financial advisor, first thing she said is, "You're underinsured." And I was like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "Insurance is there to protect you and your assets." So it's not just health insurance, but I was underinsured there, and like disability. Like for example, my insurance back then said, if I'm not able to work, I think it was going to pay me like $500 a month or whatever insurance I bought when I was in my 20s. She was like, "Tiffany, $500, is that going to be enough to cover you?" I was like, "It's not." Underinsured. Also, too, she said, with the money that you have acquired and the assets you've acquired, just insurance coverage for like your stuff is too low because your house is worth more than the insurance even covers. I was like, oh. And so that is a component that I feel like we overlook. And so now I have more robust policies for life insurance, health insurance, but also I have an umbrella policy. And I didn't notice, but Anjali was like, "Let's get you $1 million umbrella policy." I was like, "Girl, who got money for that? Girl, I'm just starting out, starting to do good." She said, "Girl, it's $400 a year." I said, "Oh, I could do 400 a year, literally a year for $1 million umbrella policy." I was like, "Oh." But you see that knowledge acquisition of like, what kind of insurance do I need? Like, do I need pet insurance? Do I need renter's insurance? Like, that is a critical knowledge base that people don't have. Okay. Number 8 for knowledge is increasing your net worth. Like, net worth is simple. It's just what you own minus what you owe. I own this house. So let's just say this house is worth $500,000. That's basically, if I look on Zillow, but ain't really real. That's what they say about the house worth between 500, 520. I don't have a mortgage, so I don't owe anything on the house. So if I'm looking at net worth just about this house, I own 500,000. I owe nothing. My net worth, if I'm just talking about the house, is $500,000, right? But let's just say I own $10,000 worth of things. I have artwork, I have this home, I have cars, I have all this other stuff. But I owe student loans. Let's just, like I said 10 million. I owe student loans. I owe mortgages on the business. I owe all this stuff. I owe $20 million worth of stuff. So I own 10 million. I'm just making it up, but I owe 20 million. My net worth is negative 10 because I have 10, but I got to push out 20. So your net worth, I think a lot of people don't know, that's your health number. That's almost like your temperature check, And so it's just like, what's my net worth looking like? Like, do I own more than I owe? So this is a knowledge component. I'm taking straight from Get Go with Money. These are the 10 components of your knowledge base that you should have. Number 9, your money team. I underestimated the value of having people on your team to help you navigate your money. So let's just say you're a business owner, a bookkeeper at minimum, and your accountant at min, because it's tax time, child. I hit up all my people. I was like, did you pay your taxes? Did you pay your taxes? Did you pay your taxes? Right? Because if you don't, I promise you that tax bill is going to grow exponentially. Why? Because it's something called compounding interest, which basically means that you're going to pay interest on the interest on the interest every single day till you pay the IRS and your state government their money. So having a money team, and so for an individual, you might consider, you don't necessarily need a financial advisor, but if you consider one, you would want to consider, for example, a certified financial planner, CFP. There's a certain level of education and continued education, and they have to be a fiduciary, meaning that they have to put your best interest first. So like, these are some people potentially on your money team. You might be an accountant on your money team. You might have an attorney on your money team. You don't have to. These are just some people. But the one person that I say for sure you should always have on your money team is an accountability partner. That's why I said, tag, share this video. I don't care if you're watching live, you're watching the replay, share this video. An accountability partner. And that's just like, it could be your work husband, your work mama, your real mama, your sister, your cousin, your bestie, whoever. It could be your husband, your wife, your partner. It could be your grown child, someone who is also working toward a better financial life, and they're willing to like work, like, you guys can kind of check in together. Okay. So if you don't have nobody else in for number 9, your money team, an accountability partner is a good place to start. Okay. Great. And then number 10 is estate planning. So this is the knowledge. Remember I said we're going to talk about 3 ways that you can live a richer life. Way number 1 is all about knowledge. And I'm giving you the 10 components that you need for your knowledge base. Okay. Number 10 is estate planning. Like, we're like, girl, that ain't me. I ain't got an estate. Yes, you do. Do you have a bank account? You got an estate. Do you have a life insurance policy through your job? You got an estate. Do you wearing some jewelry right now, sis? You got an estate. An estate is just your stuff. Don't get fooled thinking an estate means that like, oh, I have to have some big old mansion. No. It just means you got stuff, you got an estate. So the estate planning, like real simple, at the very least. So I'm going to give you a little bit of quick little homework. At the very least, check your beneficiaries on your bank accounts. Who's on it? Is it the person that you want it to be on it? Then you need to update it, because if something happens to you, this is the thing that I didn't even know, but your will could say, my money goes to my child. But if the beneficiaries form at your job, at your bank account says the money goes to your ex-husband, because when you were married, you put him down. Guess what? It's going to your ex-husband. Your beneficiaries form trumps your will. So at the very least, estate planning is just keeping the beneficiaries up to date. Does that make sense? And so like estate planning, like you see that knowledge base, I just gave you a little nugget to be like, oh snap, oh snap, oh snap, oh snap. Like who are like my beneficiaries on my life insurance policy? Do you have a 401k or whatever at work? I promise you there's a beneficiary attached. Maybe you have no one attached. Some people forget to add it. You need to add it, you know? Like any of your things, like, who is the person or people that you want things to go to? And so that's estate planning. So again, three components of living a richer life. Knowledge is number one. And I just shared you the 10 steps of knowledge: budgeting, savings, debt, credit, learning to earn. That's 5. Investing for both wealth and retirement, insurance, net worth, your money team, estate planning. That's 10. So we're talking about here, those are the 10 components of that knowledge that, like, can I get this knowledge base? If you can do that, you are 1/3 of your way to financial wholeness and 1/3 of your way to living a richer life. Does that mean, did you catch it? Is it good? Oh, look at my arms. Girl, let me tell you something. It's a little aside because I've been feeling myself. Your girl has been exercising. I have been lifting because I said, let me tell you something about living a richer life. It's not just about money, it's health, it's happiness, it's peace, it's connectedness. And so I said, I don't like the way you're feeling, Tiffany. You have been overworking and overwhelming for 15 years. You used to have Michelle Obama arms, girl. What happened? What happened? For real, because I want you to understand when you see me, I'm sharing this because it's not really about the money. The money is merely a tool for a holistically healthy life. And I can't do that without being an example to you. Okay. And so, like, I was like, I lost 30 pounds. Look, my skin is skinny. Look. This is 43-year-old skin, 43, right? And so for me, it's really important that for me, the money is merely a tool to help me to live a holistically happy, healthy, and whole life. Okay. So, all right, like I said, 3 things to help you live richer, right? So one was what? Knowledge, right? Number 2, access. Access. What does access mean? So it took me a long time to realize, girl, you are not meant to go through life alone. You are meant to ask for help. You need guidance. We literally need people to say, go left, go right. Oh, I went left. Somebody needs to tell you, girl, I went left last week. It ain't cute over there. Go this way. And so I try my best to provide access through me. But even me, I told you, I have an accountant. Shout out to Angie. I have a financial advisor. Shout out to Anjali. I have a team. Okay. I have like, I'm trying to think, like, I have an accountant, I have a CFO. Shout out to a financial manager. Shout out to George A. I'm trying to think all my financial Anjali, Angie. Oh, I have an attorney. Shout out to Tony Moore. These are all sisters. I love it. Right. But I recognize that access literally helps you go from point A to B without all the rigmarole. Because I am not an estate planning attorney. Why should I be learning that on my own? I don't need to do that. Tony helps me with that. Although I know how to make money, I don't know how to manage wealth in a way that maximizes what I make, because honestly, I didn't go to school. Like that's not my specialty. Like, I know how to make money, I know how to save, I know how to basic management. That's what I teach y'all. But that next level, I pulled in Anjali, my wealth planner, my certified financial planner. I am certainly not an accountant, and I'm not trying to figure that out. I have Angie, who's my accountant. You see what I mean? Access is people. People, do you have access to people who know those specific financial nuances and they can help you? And you might say, I don't. And I get it, like, I get it. And so you'll see, like, I'm going to share with you later on, like, I created something so you can have access to people, because there are people who are always smarter than you, who know more than you. And the truth is, you're not meant to figure out every single nuance on your own. If you can gather a smart group of team around you and learn from them, you can expedite. Like, I went from, so I'll say this. So from 15 years ago, basically I started the Budgetnista, right? Because I was like 2008, 2009. Is that 15 years? Child, close enough, right? I started the Budgetnista then. And I was at my brokest. People say they broke, but girl, they got some money in the bank. Shorty, what you think? No, I had no money in the bank. I did not have money for my mortgage. I owed $80,000, like just in fees alone. I had that $35,000 credit card debt. I owed $220 on the mortgage just in general, aside of the fees. And I had a student loan debt of like $52,000. Your girl was broke. I'm talking about, I don't have change in my purse, broke. I'm talking about, I had more money when I was 7 years old and I got my little allowance broke, at 29, 30. And so I was trying to do everything on my own, and it was not working. And for the first 5 years of Budgetnista, I want to say year one, Budgetnista made zero. Year two, maybe it made $10,000. And when I say 10,000, I mean for the Budgetnista, meaning for me, I took home 1,000. I was living off unemployment. Thank God for unemployment. And I remember like it took till year 4 or something like that. I had made in business in total, maybe 40 or 50,000 in business, meaning my take home was like 25,000. Still not even what I was making as a preschool teacher. And if you're grown, 25,000 is not enough to support yourself. And then year 5, I want to say that's the year I made $150,000 in business, and my take home was 50. So I finally was making what I made as a preschool teacher. So it took 5 years. And you know what happened year 5? I got tired and I reached out for help, and I got like my first kind of business mentor. And in 2 years, I went from making $150,000 like that year in business to $1 million. I was like, wait. Did you hear what I said? Wait. Dial it on back. Because I had access to someone who knew better and could teach me to do better, it took me 5 years to get to 150 and then 2 additional years to get to 1 million. I was like, wait, what? It's because the first 5 years, I didn't know how to ask for help. And when I finally had help, I was like, and then it took another year and a half to get from 1 million. Was it a year and a half? Maybe like a year and a half, 2 years to get from 1 million to $10 million in that year for business. I was like, wait a minute. And because I got the next level of business coaching. And that's when I realized, Tiffany, you are not meant to navigate. I don't care how smart you are. I don't care how brilliant you are. You can't possibly know all the things. You have to have access to people who know more than you. You have to. Like knowledge is, yes, I want you to get as much as you can soak up. Access is that there are people out there who this is what they do all day. And it's through them. That's why, like, the reason why you see my arms arming is because for the first, I was like, I got to get healthier. My blood pressure was spiked. I was stressed, and I had gained like 30 pounds that I had like kept on for like 4 or 5 years. I was not happy with it. And I started walking and I lost some of it, and I started eating better. I lost some of it, but your girl wasn't doing this. It wasn't doing this. It wasn't doing this until when I hit up Jeremiah Bull. Is that your last name, Jeremiah? Bull Fitness? Something like that. He's on IG. And I was like, I saw him working out with Black women. I was like, okay, regular bodies like me. Hit him up. So he started virtually, personally training me. And within weeks, I went from shake it to boom, boom, boom. Why? Access. Because guess what? Jeremiah, that's what he do. He's a personal trainer. And so I didn't have to, I was figuring it out a year and a half by myself. A few weeks with Jeremiah, I was like, you mean to tell me if I would have asked for help sooner, if I would have had access, I could have got to the guns show sooner. You know what I mean? Access. Okay? And so like, I'm telling you, like access people like will help to expedite the process. Okay? So again, we're going to recap. 3 ways to live a richer, fuller life, the life that you're wanting, right? Knowledge. We talked about the 10 knowledge components, right? Access. That's people who know more, who this is what they do, leaning into them. And the last one is community. You need some Jeremiah here. I'm almost look up Bull Fitness. I think that's what his name is. Poor Jeremiah. But Jeremiah is great. Honestly, he's great. He's young though. First of all, let me tell you, because you know me, I like a little aside. So I hit up Jeremiah. I was like, oh my gosh, Jeremiah, like I saw you working with women on IG. This looks great. I want to sign up. He was like, so Jeremiah, I think he's in like his mid-20s. Here go Jeremiah. We get on the phone. Oh my God, my mom loves you. I was like, Jeremiah, did you just call me old? He said, my mama loved you. Jeremiah, you could have kept that because his mama must be grown like me, but I just thought that was hilarious. He said, my mom loves you. So anyway, but that's access, it took me to another, my stomach is stomaching, we get a little older, like we get that little pooch, my pooch is a puh now, right? It ain't what it used to be, child. My back is back in, and I'm not even gonna lie, I'm not even gonna stand up because your girl, I always had a little booty, and that booty is booty. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't gonna hold you. I'm like, because these squats that Jeremiah got me doing, I'm like, Jeremiah, I hate these squats and these lifts. But I was like, oh, wait, I'm gonna continue. So I'm just sharing all that because look what access can do. It took me from like I was doing as best as I could to one person coming in, sharing their knowledge, me leaning into it, me, like paying for that access. And all of a sudden, like my body transformed in weeks instead of years. Okay. Okay. Right. So access, access, access. And the last one is community. So community is we, especially we, when I say we, I'm talking about us, the melanated, right? So of course, I don't turn anyone away, but I and my parents were born and raised in Nigeria and have been to Nigeria a number of times in Africa. I was in Kenya in January and Egypt in March. And so I have seen with my own eyes that it's something about us that we work best in community. And I suspect it's all people, but I can only talk about my people for sure, right? We work best in community. What does that mean? That means that like it's you are not out here to do it alone. It's like, like you have to think about back on the day, like the neighbors would maybe sometimes drive you home, your mama's best friend would pick you up from school. Like in a community, it's really important that you like, that's why I love this. I'm seeing the comments, whether it's live or replay. Community, it is important that as you are navigating the space, that you can look left and right and say, there are other people like me also navigating. I'm not doing anything wrong. This is just what the process looks like. Community offers you support. It offers you accountability. It offers you like the normalization of the process. Community is just an incredibly important space to hold dear. And so the three components to living this richer life: knowledge, access, community. And I've seen some of you guys in the comments. So if you want to know, if you need help with acquiring knowledge, access, community, type help in the comments. I'll wait. Knowledge, access, community. Those are the three things. And I'll tell you a story while I wait for you to write help in the comments, right? Is that, so like I said, when I first started, preschool teacher making $50,000 a year, I started my business, and now I am, because I've had knowledge, access, and community, and I've actually leaned into those things. I used to say I'm a baby millionaire, but I'm like, girl, stop downplaying it. You're a millionaire. It's okay. It's okay. I honestly don't have to work if I don't want to. Now, am I going to pretend that everyone is going to become a millionaire? No, because the truth is, I don't even need to be a millionaire. Girl, I'm wearing my Target, but this is Target right here, and I have some sweatpants somebody gave me for free. Okay. My lifestyle is so simple, but what I love is that I have the safety and security to look after myself. I paid off my parents' house about 4 years ago. It was $120,000. And like, because they, especially like, yeah, they took out like a second mortgage to send my baby sister, because I'm one of 5 girls, to send her to school. So she was the last one. Right. And I remember like my mom was still working and she wanted to retire. She's a nurse and she was in her early 60s. So she still had a few more years to go, but she was tired. If you're a nurse, you already know it's not an easy job. And so I asked my dad, like, what are the bills looking like? And he showed me, and I saw the mortgage was the largest bill. And I said, do you have enough in retirement savings to pay the rest of the bills if this is gone? And he said, yes. And I said, consider it done. I spoke to my late husband at the time, Jarrell. I said, babe, what do you think? I'd like to pay off my parents' mortgage, but when you married, I don't care who, quote unquote, made the money. It's our money. And he was like, of course. I wish my mother, who had passed away in his 20s, was alive so I could pour into her like this. Let's do it. And my dad, I paid it off. They couldn't believe it. Like, I used to have this reoccurring dream where I would retire my mom. And I did not understand at that moment that me paying off the house retired her. Do you know how good that feels to retire your mama? So they don't have to worry about finances. And I send them money every month. My mom always be like, send 2 separate checks. I was like, so I got to send 1 check to my daddy, 1 check to my mommy. And that's money that they can use to do whatever they want with, because my dad has, he has positioned them that like their retirement savings pays for like their, their regular bills. So that money is just money to do whatever they want with. But it feels so good to be able to do that. You know what I mean? That's what living richer for me, looks like. And so that's what knowledge, access, and community has looked like. And now because of that, I have grown wealth for myself. I live in a house. And even with that, this house was 180. So I'm not living some multi-million dollar, There's nothing wrong with that if you want to live in that. But for me, I bought this house. It was a foreclosure for 180,000. I put over time about 100 to $200,000 into it because we did a full gut. So you figure that's like what, 380 altogether, right? Is that what it is? 380 altogether. And now this house is worth over 500,000. Boom, you know? And so now I've been able to buy another property, a condo, you know? And so I just share all that because like it's just so critically important that like for me it's not about the money, you know? Like many of you know that my beloved husband passed away like a year and a half ago. And I love that man so much. Let me not cry. But the blessing is that because we had a financial advisor, because we talked through our finances, because of knowledge access community for the those three things that we did those things together, when he passed away, I get to just miss him. I had a girlfriend that lost her husband and her house. She lost her husband and her house. I I don't even know. I could not manage the feeling of having to navigate what am I going to do about money after him being gone. I got to just miss him. I took 2 months away and I went to Bali for 2 months by myself. I took over 6 months away from my business. And it's been, and even now, I don't have to come fully back, and I'm not, you know, like I work about one fourth of the time. But why? Knowledge, access, community. These are not just words to me. Like the estate planning is what saved me. The knowledge of like, this is what we did with our money is what saved me. The access to like, when Jarrell passed away, I was, of course, numb. Anjali, my financial advisor, quickly rang up Tony, my estate planning attorney, quickly rang up Angie, my accountant, to like talk about inheritance tax, quickly rang up George A., my financial manager in the company, and they all worked together to figure out what's the next steps financially for Tiffany. I didn't have to think about it. That's knowledge, access, and community. I'm even more invested in making sure, especially you women, you know, will like to have access to that kind of like ability, you know, because like I said, for me, you know, I still grieve him every day, but there's not a financial ramification for his loss. Does that make sense? You know? Exactly. Someone said only 1% of the country has a financial plan. Well, we're going to be the 1%. Here's what I'm going to do. So, like so many of you guys said that you needed help. So I created something some time ago called the Live Richer Academy. Who remembers? So if you remember the Live Richer Academy, type LRA for Live Richer Academy in the comments. LRA if you remember the Live Richer Academy. You know, like share. So I created something some years ago called the Live Richer Academy, and it was good, but as of late, it has become amazing and great. You want to know why? Because like right after the pandemic, I said, well, you already know I wrote this book, Get Good with Money. As of right now, over 250,000 copies in only 2 years. Most books never sell in their lifetime 1,000 copies. Most books never sell over 1,000 copies in 1 year. This book, in a lifetime, this book has sold 250,000 in only 2 years. And what it told me was the steps in this book are what you're wanting. And so what I did was I looked at the academy and said, you good, girl, but I want you to be great. I cleared it out. And then I redid the Live Richer Academy with the steps in this book. The 10 steps that I went over, we have this course. I'm actually going to bring on the CEO right now, Tamara, because I want you to like me. Tamara, are you there, girl?
I'm here. Hey, y'all. Loving the comments. I'm seeing all of the OGs in here. So amazing.
And so I wanted you to see that, like, so I was like, let's redo, because the book speaks for itself, that it's resonating. So I said, there are 10 steps in here are the steps that you're wanting, obviously. And so we used to have like, because Tam, how many classes did we have in the academy before?
Over like 50. We had a ton, but we've toned it down a little bit so that we can give some focus. So yeah.
So we said, I was like, Tam was like, I just think it's just too many. And it was right. And people were, because I was always like, more is more. But what I realized is that clear is more. And so we took the book, the 10 steps of financial wholeness that I went through. So those 10 steps, like I said before, budgeting, savings, debt, credit, learning to earn, investing for retirement and wealth, insurance, net worth, your financial team, and estate planning. And we created this financial fundamentals course, right, Tam?
Mm-hmm.
Like this is like our core deliverable inside the Literature Academy. And what I did even more special is that I said it's not for me to teach it all. Guess what course I teach? I want you to just guess. Of all the courses I just guess what course I teach. Only one. Guess. I teach the budgeting course. That's it. And we have so I handpicked every single financial expert and we flew to them, like whether it was like California, North Carolina. There was somebody who was in Mexico, but I
Yes,
wanted the
we did.
best.
We did.
Right?
We definitely went to Mexico. We did.
Right? We got the best of the best of the best of the best, recorded them where they were, and re-recorded their courses, got your feedback because the courses used to be like 45 minutes, an hour long, too long. We recorded their courses in like less than 15-minute intervals. So you could do it while you're watching the kids, do it before you cook, do it while, maybe you're at the gym. And like these courses are amazing. We paid like an amazing editor to make them beautiful and easy to navigate. And so they are the 10 fundamentals. Like there are other classes in the academy, but that's our marquee flagship course, the fundamentals course taken directly from Get Good with Money. So if you have my book, you'll be like, oh my gosh, this is it come to life. All the tools and resources you need are available. And so I'm just really proud of the Literature Academy. One of the things I did after Gerald passed away and I was able to do was Tam has been with the Literature Academy since it started. Like we opened the doors and she was one of our first hires. And it's so crazy. And I don't think I told you the story, Tam. I thought to myself, like, I feel like one day she could be the CEO. There was just something about you that I was just like, there's just something about her that she's got this leadership ability. I feel like she could be the CEO one day. And so when I no longer had the emotional and mental capacity, I was able to promote Tam to CEO of the Literature Academy. And she has just done an amazing job with making it so much better. I actually want to show you guys like the inside. Like I'm going to have Tam kind of walk you through the new kind of Literature Academy. If you've been in it before and maybe you did all the classes or whatever, I promise you what we have now is better. It's more beautiful. It's more concise. We don't have those long drawn out classes. So Tam, if you want to like kind of share with the people what they can expect inside the academy.
Yes, I'm loving the comments. If you see me looking down, I'm looking on my phone at your comments on the different outlets, and it's cracking me up. But yeah, let me show you a preview. Again, I love all of the older members, our original OG folks that are on the call, but it's great to just see the progress. So I do want to show you that a little bit. We actually have a live session happening right now. So if this is something that you love and you want often, it's happening at least twice a month inside of the academy. That's at minimum. So let me go ahead and just show you a little bit of what we have. Let's see. So yes, we have our fundamentals course, which is amazing. Like she said, we went all over the country and outside of the country to bring you our best experts. This is Kara Stevens. And we actually start with one of the courses being money mindset, which is extremely important when it comes to just focusing on your finance in general, because we all have a history. We're all been kind of like wired to think about money in a certain way. I think at one point I saw someone say in the comments, I used to be so broke, I'm scared to spend now. Well, we talk you through that. It's almost like a money therapy session. And these courses are professionally recorded. We made sure we have closed captions, because if you're like a mom like me, have 3 little kids running around, and sometimes I'm still trying to get my education on, and I might need to read through it instead of listening to it as I'm going through. We also have interactions, interactives, and quizzes just to test your knowledge and make sure that you are up to speed. And then we also have our amazing community. The community is what keeps you thriving. As you guys are just even vibing out through the comments right now, you kind of need that energy to keep you going, to let you know that you are not alone. And the success stories that come out, it's endless. Every day we are celebrating money wins because of the outcome and the impact that, the Academy has had. So let me just show you a few more. I wonder if I have the volume on.
That's okay if you don't, but yeah, it's just these are all professionally recorded. We met them where they were. This is Erin, who's awesome, also like a best-selling author. Is it,
So
oh,
she's
this is her.
live right now. Yeah,
Well,
they're
she's
in the
live.
community. So as you can see, we already have participants. She's in the community right now answering questions. And
Love it.
if you do have the book, Tiffany talks about digging your way out of debt. So she's our digging our way out of debt expert. She jumps into the community and answers, Q&A, just so you get a little bit of that hand holding, because this process can be lonely and overwhelming. So we just want to make sure you get a little bit of that hand holding and are able to get questions answered as it relates to your personal experience and then just in general. So yeah, this is just like a little snippet of what we have. And
Can you
this
show
is
one of the
also,
quizzes? Because I love the interactive. I was like, this is so cute.
you
Can
want
you
to
show
see?
them?
Yeah, you love
Yes.
those.
Because
Let
we
me.
paid like a sister. I was like, no, we need some interactive stuff. And so we paid this amazing sister to create like interactive, like, so share what are we looking at here?
So here we have the abundance versus scarcity mindset. So for the one follower that we have on here that was speaking to being broke and not wanting to spend anymore, we talk through that. So this right here is like a little bit of pop quiz, just asking you, to place those characteristics. What is the characteristics of an abundance mindset versus a scarcity? And we also have deep conversations around this as well that is throughout the community that allows you to just kind of think about it a little bit. And then also some activities that prompts you to have some serious conversations with yourself as well. So yeah, this is just like a fun interactive that we have. You're able to drag and and then it'll, when you hit submit, it'll tell you, whether you were wrong or right, how are you doing? So yeah, we have all kinds of fun interactives to test your knowledge.
So you guys know I said like I have my master's in education, and what we did was we actually hired these women from Stanford to go through the Literature Academy and say, what can we do better to enhance the educational component? What's missing? We were like, okay, the classes are too long. So you need sometimes like a robust class, but can it be chopped up into 10 to 8 minute segments? Surely it can. Then we were like, not everyone learns the same way. So we were like, okay, let's have these interactive like games and tools and things you can do. So that was great. And then we got feedback from you that said, hey, I need closed caption, and I'm like, okay. And so that's something that we added. Honestly, when I say I'm so proud of the Literature Academy, I just really am. I'm proud that it's run by women. It's for women. Certainly, we don't turn anybody away.
We
So
don't. We
Jacob,
don't. We welcome the
right?
men, and they
Right. If
come
you if,
in.
if you Indian man, we don't turn you away, but know that that's something that we're proud of. Like, that like first and foremost in our mind is like, how do we serve women? And certainly we don't turn any men away. And there's nothing super specific that's only for women, And so to Tam's point, can we maybe look at, do we have like can you show us like where's the fundamentals course? Can we see like what?
Yeah, let me
Like so
pull
they
that
can
up
see the
real
course, like the
quick.
names of the courses.
Absolutely. Let me see if I can find that.
And I love that Deborah says she's been here since day one. If you are a Literature Academy member,
I
just
love
type
our day
member.
ones. Yeah.
Yes. Just type member in the comments because I'd love for people to see, like, because it's just, especially now more than ever, we are entering into like just a little bit of rocky, like economic times. And remember, I said before, knowledge, access, community, that's literally the tenets that I built the Literature Academy on. Right? Knowledge, like here are all these courses based upon, especially this fundamentals course, based upon Get Good with Money. I know it works because y'all told me if you go to Amazon, you'll see almost 5,000 five-star reviews. Child, I was like, wow. So I said, I know it works. Let's do what works. Let's do a system that we know works with 250,000 people saying it works, right? So that's the knowledge component. Then access. What did I say before? That I do not have all the answers. And so before I used to teach so many classes in the academy, I'm like, sis, you tried it. No, 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 no. Instead, we're going to have all of these experts who know more than you than in those specific realms. Like Aaron is excellent at debt. What does Ash Cash teach again? He's one of my faves.
Banking and savings. Yes.
Banking and
Desperately
savings.
needed.
And Ash Cash, when we say banking, Ash Cash was the youngest bank, was
He
it
was the
credit?
CEO of a bank. Yes.
Yes. He was the youngest CEO of a bank when he was in New York City, in New York State, I believe. So that's the kind of people that we have in here. I mean, Ash Cash, he ain't as young as he used to be because we're about the same age now. But when he was first hired, he was the youngest CEO of a bank, and he's teaching a class. That's like incredible. Like I said, my estate planning attorney, Tony Moore, this amazing sister, she teaches the estate planning course. That's my attorney. So these are the people that I trust with my financial life and just my life in general. And I've said, no, I want you to come into here and pour into our members, which we call dream builders, And so like, yeah, these are, so you said, Tam, you have it up? Let me see.
Let me know if you can see, because I'm
Okay.
there it is. Boom.
Okay,
I was
there it
like,
is.
wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I know I pulled it up. So yeah, this is the main screen when you come in. And we have that financial foundation signature course right at the top at the beginning. And then of course we have some other featured training. So again, the course that we were speaking about, that's our flagship course. That's where you begin. That's where you get that guidance and that hand holding. But we also have a variety of courses that you can go and tap into and get some more knowledge on. Julie is amazing. I saw a few comments in here that was
About
around
investing.
investing. So we
Yes.
talk about investing for retirement, investing for wealth, because those are two different things. And then again, I can even show you further down where I said, we were pretty much providing you with everything. So that's still available to you. We
Mm-hmm.
still want you to be able to just dabble and just get some more knowledge on those different financial topics. But the core of the course, which is going to get you to exactly where you need to be from point
Mm-hmm.
A to Z, is the financial foundation signature course.
Mm-hmm. The one that's based off Get Good with Money. And so
Yes.
some of you are asking, how do I join? So the site is literally, I put it on screen, joinlra.com. If someone could just type into the comments for me as well,
Mhm.
joinlra.com. Now, here's the thing. Normally, like if you go to like Live Richer Academy, because how much is the academy typically? Like when isn't it like, what is it, Tam? $49.99?
49.99.
Right? But we all like Literature Academy. So if you were to go to literatureacademy.com, I'm just pulling it up right now for myself, so I'm not lying. Right? So if you go to literatureacademy.com, if I scroll all the way down to the bottom, and I want to get started, you'll see literatureacademy.com will say $49.99 per month. And if you do 6 months, you get 1 month free. If you do for the year, you get 2 months free. So 6 months would normally be 250 basically, and for the full year 500. But with joinlra.com, that's like our secret link, because normally, the school is called Live Richer Academy, so of course people are going to go to livericheracademy.com off the street, but our secret link is joinlra.com. And we are having a 48-hour Dreamcatcher Academy special invite. So the Academy over time has raised its, like, because I mean, business just costs more to,
Mhm.
to manage. And so it's raised its rate. But for this 48 hours, it's 40% off membership access. That's less than $1 a day. This is specifically, do not go to livericheracademy.com, because that is where you'll pay full price. But for 48 hours, it goes from, what is it, $49.99 to what, Tam?
29.99.
$29.99. Wait,
Mhm.
let me go to Join LRA, right? But even better than Join, and that's for 48 hours. For those of you who are watching, if you're watching the replay, hopefully that 48 hours has not run out. Um, that's the problem with replays. But let me see, because you might say, you know what? I don't want to pay monthly. I actually want to join for 6 months. And 6 months is $149 a night, basically 150 for
Mhm.
6 months, less than $1 a day. Even better is for a full year. So instead of $500 for the year, it's $300 for the year. So that's monthly, $30 a month, 6 month, 150, annual 300, only at joinlra.com. If you look at the bottom, like you see, it says available like for the next 48 hours. And that's specifically for dream catchers, especially if you're watching live. Hopefully, if you catch the replay, you catch it within the 48 hours and you'll be able to lock in that rate, because after that, that rate jumps up. Um, and so, like, you get access to top financial educators, right? Walking you every stage. Like Tim said, like, lives at least twice a month. So, because I understand that sometimes you want self-guidance, right? You're like, okay, I want to walk through the academy, leave me alone. Like, there's times when Jeremiah, my personal trainer, I'm like, you're talking too much. Let me just work out in my own gym. And then there are times, though, that I need Jeremiah to be there live and in action. But I don't know where Jeremiah lives, but we'll do like a video, so I can see him and I can hear him. So we understand that sometimes you're going to want to self-guide yourself. And sometimes you're going to want to be like, now with Aaron is live right now, right? We have help for every type of student learner, live lessons, pre-recorded classes, easy tasks, worksheets, and more. An amazing customer support team. I call them the Unicorn Squad. You know what I love about them is that, like, sometimes, y'all get a little sassy and you'll be like, oh my gosh, I wasn't able to log in. And you'll like hit me on Instagram and no one answered me. I'm like, that don't sound like my team. And sure enough, they'll send me a screenshot like, girl, we answered her within an hour. And because it went to your spam and you didn't see it. Like, honestly, the Unicorn Squad, hands down, is the best like support team that you could ever like design. Honestly, I have such an amazing, amazing team. We have an amazing tech team behind the scenes that you guys don't have to worry about and see. We literally have like a channel when there's any tech issue that you bring up, we have the tech team on it. And so like, and even better than this, because I am not here to take, but to give. If you have 30 days, if you're just like, this ain't for me, 30 days, you could try risk-free. So if you decide it ain't for me, within 30 days, you can get your money back. Because I don't want anyone to join and say, I don't like it. Because here's the thing, as much as I know it's really awesome and great, you might find that like, you don't like literally this tank top is from Target and I can return. Well, I can't return it now because I had this for like a year or so. But if you can return a tank top, why can't you return a course? I know some people be like, I don't want to return. Like, like when they have courses, but I don't believe that. Cause I'm like, well, if I can go to Target and return a tank top and I can return something to Amazon, why shouldn't you be able to return something that doesn't fit for you educationally? So we're not here to hold you hostage. If it's not a fit, that's okay. Because we have had, which I am so proud of, since the start of the Literature Academy, we have had over 100,000 students come through Literature Academy. Did you hear me? 100,000 students. Some of them have finished all their courses and moved on. Some of them have stayed, but over 100,000 students. Like we currently have, how many students do we currently have like active right now, Tam?
Active 20,000.
20,000 right now, right? But through it's like history, because the Academy is like what, 6 years old now?
So it's about to be 7.
Right?
Getting up there.
Right. And so, right. So in that 7-year span, over 100,000 students have come through. And typically we have about 20 or 30,000 current like active in the moment. And so I hope you'll want to join us. I'm really proud of the Academy. If you know me, I'm really hard on myself and the team sometimes because I don't like good. To me, there's good, there's great, there's unicorn. And the Academy is great, bordering on unicorn, because we still got some like visible tweaks. I'm like, oh, let's change this color. Let's change that color, But like, I don't believe in delivering good. Good is not good enough, not for y'all, because I feel like the world has given us less than good for so long. And so here with us, I like to over deliver. And so for the 48 hours, for $300 for the year, $150 for 6 months, and then $30 a month. I don't know that you can beat it. And this is no shade to some of my friends who have courses, but I know that there's a trend that courses be like $1,500, that $2,000, $10,000. And here's the thing. If that's what they think that their course is worth, they ought to do that. But for me and us over here, I want you to have affordable access. Because what is the point if I've decided I want to live a life of service and leading to people who need help, if you are left out of the ability to have help because you just can't afford it? That doesn't make sense to me for what we do here. Like, so I'm certainly not shading people who have $1,500, $2,000 courses because their courses are just different. Maybe it's to teach you how to make $1 million in real estate, and that makes sense. But around here in these parts, this is financial education. I want you to have access. And so, like exactly. Someone said I had to lock you up because before it used to be really inexpensive. Like I think the Academy used to be $10 a month, but we could not run a business on that.
We
had to bump it up.
And we hesitated for a while. It was at that price point for quite a while. And what I love is that most of our members, they're like, you guys should bump it up again. And we're like, no, we're comfortable here. And we just want everyone to have the access. And what's great is, if you join and you're here for 6 months, instead of like a full year or ongoing, that's okay. Sometimes I think, you have a good meal and you're full. We want you to just reach your goals and come back when you need to revisit us again. So there was a comment in here. I think someone had like a question about their account. So if you have any questions, you can hit our team up at LRA support. So it's LRA for Literature Academy support.com. And a page will pop up for you to be able to send your questions in. So if you're just having some issues with registration, let us know. The U Squad will come and help you.
Yeah. So if you're a member or you just joined, let us know in the comments, because I love that. I love that. Someone said, does it come with the book? Girl, I wish. The way publishing works, like just like a little aside, but the way publishing works is that like I can't like when I self-published, I could maybe do that, but when it's published, the book belongs to Penguin Random House. So I can't give it, Yeah, like it's not like before when I self-published everything and I could just do whatever I wanted. Um, so yes, it doesn't come with the book, but there's almost always the book is almost always on sale anywhere. And we try to post about like when the book like goes on sale. Sometimes the audiobook goes down to like $2, and
Mm-hmm.
we definitely share that. And so like, or this is what I say, even though my publisher be like, Tiffany, stop telling people not to spend money like on the book. But this is what I say, girl, go ahead down to the library. Okay, and get you that book for free. And so, like, because here's what I know is that you don't have to spend any money with me to get help. And if you're just like, girl, I don't have $2, I don't have 2 nickels to rub together, you can still get help because
Mm-hmm.
go down to the library, get the book if you're wanting it. And if you're wanting the book to come to life for you, that's what the Literature Academy is going to do. Plus. And so, yeah, like that's what I would do if when I was really super struggling, Tiffany, I would get the book from the library. Because what I found is that people will get the book from the library. They'll love it so much. They'll want to write in it. And then they'll say, you know what? The next time I do save a little something, I'll get the book. And even if you never say that, that's okay with me. That's okay with me. And so, like, yeah, so don't kick yourself, Nikki. She says she's kicking herself for not using it to the fullest. The beauty of the academy is that it's on your terms. It's on your terms. Like if you are an OG in the academy and you have not logged back in and you're like, wait, like Tam said, it's LRA support, right? .com.
I'm gonna type it in the comments here.
Okay. And so like you can go and like be like, wait, I need to log back in, and then because I want you, honestly, I want if you join to commit yourself to is it actually no, it's not LRA support. What did you say it was?
Mm-hmm. LRAsupport.com. Yep.
Why is it not coming up for me? Did you type it in the am I spelling support wrong?
Yeah.
Type it into the thing because it
Oh,
doesn't
that
come.
is weird that it's not coming up. Oh,
Yes.
we'll hit up our tech team, but I'll give you guys
I
the
hear my text.
email directly. Let me see.
Yes. But I'll say this that like if it was me and where I am right now, because if you want to go from A to Z, you have to go from A to B first. If it was me, I would say, okay, I am going to commit because I am worth it to do better because I want to live a richer life. I want to not have to worry about how I'm going to pay bills. I want to have access. I want to go on vacation. I don't want to have to worry about my estate plan. I want to help my parents or my sisters, or I want to give more to my church or donate more. I want to do these amazing things, but it seems so overwhelming. So I'm going to do one thing for myself. I'm going to join the Literature Academy and I'm going to commit 6 months. I'm going to commit 1 year. If I'm being honest, 1 month is not going to be enough. Like certainly you can join for the month to month, but you could save but 1 month like of being in the academy is not going to be enough because you're going to need time to do the classes. Like I didn't get these arms in 1 month, like I had to commit to the work, and here's the thing, you don't have to do it every single day. You might say, you know what, I'm going to commit to taking the fundamentals course. This is what I would do. I'm going to do 1 course a month. One course, like collectively that course might be an hour long. So an hour in 1 month. That's it. And then slowly but surely, you're going to accumulate the knowledge you need to transform your life. That's what I would do, is that I would commit to, I'm going to join. I'm going to go to joinlra.com. I'm going to get my discount because who should pay full price? Not me, right? If I don't have the money for the book and I really want it, that's all right. I'm going to mosey my way on down to the library and get it for free. And if you want to get the book, obviously we encourage you to do so, right? But if you can't, that's okay. And I'm going to commit that when I join, I'm going to do 1 course a month and I'm going to get me an accountability partner because I need, whether it's my sister, my cousin, I'm going to like, girl, join with me. Or if you don't know anybody, you're going to join because we have a built-in community and you're going to tap a sister on the shoulder in there and say, I'm looking for an accountability partner. Like I didn't tell you this story, Tim, but it's so beautiful. So one of my mentees, she's not little, but like I remember Casey, like me and her sister were college roommates and Casey was much younger. So she used to come visit her sister on campus. And since then she and I have stayed connected. We had dinner a few weeks ago and she said, Tiffany, do you know when I first joined, the academy and joined all things Budgetnista, I found an accountability partner. And that was over like 10 years ago. And she's like, now, like she lives in Atlanta. I've gone to visit her. She's married and has kids. I see the kids. Her accountability partner 10 years later,
Wow.
she's like, she has seen me through purchasing a house, raising my credit score, budgeting, saving. But do you see what I mean? Like that accountability part is so important. And she found it right in that community. Like, that's incredible. I was like, I almost wept tears like, Tacey, For real, she was like, for real. And so joining, commit to giving yourself ideally at least 6 months to change. That's what Jeremiah told me. It's gonna take at least 6 months to see real transformation in your body. At least 6 months. Commit to doing one course. It's an hour over these small little periods, and at least one course a month for at least 6 months. You'll get at least through half of the fundamentals. Ideally you want to do a year, but at least 6 months to see if you see any change. And then find yourself an accountability partner to keep you encouraged when you don't feel like doing stuff. And just tell yourself, I'm going to do a course a month, and lock in your 40% off at joinlra.com. Okay? Yeah. So I know we all want to be better. Like, let's do it. Nikki says, Cheryl, we're in the same boat. I want to better me in 2023. It sounds like Nikki and Cheryl, maybe y'all need to be accountability partners. For real.
Like a match.
For real. And that's okay. So Simone says she's working on her consistency. So Simone, a great way to say is, I'm not going to overwhelm myself. I'm just going to commit to one course a month. And what does one course a month look like? Look at the course. I like to do them in order. The mindset course, see how many modules they are. And you might tell yourself, let's just say there's 5 modules. So you're like, okay, I need to watch at least one module a week or one module and a half a week. You know what I mean? So it's just like, and they're 15 minutes, some of them even shorter than that. And so I would probably pick a day, like every Thursday at 8:00, every Wednesday at 2:00. Even better if you do it with your accountability partner. You see what I mean? And so yes. Yeah.
Honestly, the courses are so good. You just end up being like, wait, I got to pick up where I left off. We leave you with little cliffhangers, and you're just going to you're going to see some immediate progress. That's what I really love. Like, just even going through the sessions, those light bulbs go off, and you know that you're capable of doing it. So yeah, I'm just excited. I'm seeing a lot of great comments. I know some of you are tapping in, and just get started with the fundamentals course and take it one course at a time.
And let me know how it goes. Honestly, hit me on social. Hit Literature Academy on social. Let us know how it goes. If you have any issues, we're always here. Here's the thing. No one's above correction and feedback. We welcome it, honestly.
Yes.
Because if something is wrong, we want to fix it. The Academy is the way it is because of your feedback. Someone was like, I'm deaf. I need closed caption. I was like, I never thought about that. Boom, done. This is too long. I have kids. I never thought about that. Boom, done. I don't just want to see Tiffany teaching. Who else is out there? I was like, you're right. Boom, done. So don't when I say we listen. George, you can't get in. Send an email to LRA. So what is it?
I'll type it in there again. Customer support at liveratureacademy.com.
So send an email to customer support to liveratureacademy.com. And here, so George, when you say you can't get in, you mean you can't get in as far as joining LRA, or you already are a member and you can't log in. If you're already a member, just literally hit reply to the last email they sent you, and they'll be able to hit you there. So. Oh, you guys are awesome. Sam, anything else you want to leave with the people before we bid them adieu?
No, just don't hesitate. Jump right in. There's never a perfect time to get started. There's always going to be something that you don't know. And that's pretty much what our community and Literature Academy was designed for. So come on in. And as Tiff said, hit us up, hit her up, and we'll talk through it. And I hope to see you in there and join a lot of great conversations. So Thank you.
Bye, y'all. Remember, joinlra.com. This has been awesome. Thanks,
ready for the Budgetnista bicep course.
I know, right? Like, girl.
Come on.
Bye, y'all.